Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Catherine. So I do not take myself seriously whatsoever, but I did put on business casual for the first time in 6 months because I take your personal finances seriously and my personal finances seriously, because clearly our government is not. Jokes aside, I'm not a financial expert. That's not why you clicked on the video. I'm just here to try to provide what I'm planning to change, fix, improve, and do next year. I found a lot of personal finance ideology tends to put the onus on you to fix your mistakes and right your wrongs, when really we shouldn't be blaming people when it is economic injustice that's preventing you from achieving financial well-being in the first place. I'll get off my soapbox, but I do think it would be negligent not to acknowledge the role that intergenerational wealth has played in my personal finances, because my parents were able to save a college fund for me. I'm so ridiculously privileged to not have had debt loaded onto me just to enter into the world. And I know it might not be a helpful perspective for all of you, so I completely get that. Number one, I started doing this recently without knowing the vocabulary for it, but basically I'm going to start employing value-based spending instead of mindless spending. During my everyday, day-to-day life, I've started keeping a list on my iPhone Notes app of all the things that I'm missing that I need in my life. Need is sort of a gray area. I need clean drinking water. I do not need a 6-inch ceramic pot for my philodendron, but hey. So yeah, basically I started accumulating just a list of like the things I need in my wardrobe or my life, so like a new winter coat or thermal layers or hiking socks or whatnot. And I do that so that when I am shopping, I am not just taking a thing that you like just intrinsically and then deciding how you're going to fit that and wedge that into your life, but rather starting at the basis of like, what am I actually missing? It's so rational, it seems almost too obvious, but it's not the way that I typically consumed material goods in this world until somewhat recently. And I can point out like 3 different jackets in my wardrobe that I thought looked cool but didn't actually fit a need, and so now I don't wear them. Editor's note, this really all applies to your discretionary income or spending. Obviously for household essentials like toilet paper or soap, you're always value-based spending on those things. You're never just mindlessly buying. But there may be other categories like clothing or makeup where you find yourself mindlessly spending more than you value-based spend, if that makes sense. Number 2, I'm going to save more by earning more. Radical. But earning more is the single most powerful thing that has happened to my finances over the past 5 years. Going from working 3 part-time jobs in college to now working a full-time office job. For me, earning more is going to be negotiating a raise at my job next year or getting some sort of promotion. For you, that could be negotiating with your place of employment if you have one, or adopting a side hustle. I am not going to be endorsing adopting a side hustle, which seems sort of ironic because you're watching me perform my side hustle right now. But I just know firsthand how detrimental like monetizing a hobby can be to your overall fulfillment and sense of joy. So, and also because your free time is just so precious in this world, in this capitalistic world, and does not always need to be focused on growing capital, hustle culture, making money for someone else. You deserve to be paid more for your labor. It's very, very valuable. I know imposter syndrome can kind of shake that ideal up. I think earning more seems kind of radical because it doesn't seem like something in your control. Like that just seems like something pushed down. You know, your salary level is fixed and you just take what you can get. But people do negotiate, not just at the end of the year, but during the year. I've had several friends close to me negotiate, not expecting anything, and actually do get incremental raises that are meaningful in their life. So it's possible. I have done a lot of research to prepare for my upcoming negotiations, and I'm going to paste all of that information in the doobly-doo to take a note from John Green. There are plenty of templates that you can use in email form to recruiters to start having that conversation with your manager. Even if they can't move your salary up, they can do things that'll save you money, such as cover childcare, or in the olden days, help you with commute costs, or maybe that's still a factor in your life. Even education reimbursement if you want to take a class on the side and get a certification course or something that would be helpful to your career advancement. So number 3, I'm going to automate my investing strategy more. And I know investing might not apply to all of you if you're still working on your emergency fund or clawing out of debt. I understand that my personal finance situation is completely different from anybody else's, so I'm not trying to shove anything down your throat, but rather just share what I am working on. And maybe some of this will resonate with you and maybe some of it won't. But I'm gonna automate my investment strategy more. Enter wealthfront. This is one of the most exciting sponsors my channel has had to date because I am the daughter of a proud NPR mom and I grew up hearing Wealthfront plugged all across public radio. Wealthfront is a saving and investment service. It's completely digital. So I've had the app on my phone for like years at this point. One of my friends introduced me to them, and foundationally you can plug in all of your different saving and investment streams into their one app. So your 401k, your IRA, your stocks, your multiple savings funds, you can put all those streams into one Wealthfront fountain, if you will. And then you can also automate your investing strategy on top of that with Wealthfront. Me and my clipboard know that investing is scary, but you don't have to feel as though you're gambling all of your life savings away in order to invest in the market. Based on your personal comfort level and your goals, Wealthfront can invest for you in a diversified portfolio of global low-cost ETFs. Quite literally make Wealthfront do it for you so that you can spend your precious brain space elsewhere. May I recommend Industry on HBO? You could also just get more sleep, you know, with that extra time. But just no matter where your level of finance knowledge is at, they make investing accessible, affordable, like the least complicated it could be. Logistically, what do you need? Well, you just need $500 to open your investment account with Wealthfront. That's the minimum. And then you don't pay anything for them to manage your money up to $5,000 if you sign up with the link in my description. And then past that $5,000 free promotion, their annual management fee to invest for you is 0.25% of your assets. So that works out to be, on a $10,000 investment with them, you would pay $1 a month. Which, like, no BS, that's very, very low. I will have the link in my description to check out Wealthfront. Thank you for sponsoring. This is an exciting moment for me, personally. All right, so beyond automating my investment strategy instead of just throwing darts at index funds and just riding with them, what else am I doing next year? This is a huge one for me personally, and probably for a lot of Americans, and that is all of my mounting medical costs. My universal healthcare viewers cannot relate, but in this illogical privatized healthcare world, out of pocket this year, and I can see it in my portal, I spent over $2,000 of my own cash just to pay for my medical expenses. But what am I gonna do about it? Even more so than this year, I'm going to continue to fight every single one of my healthcare expenses because statistically, and I don't think this is widely available information, I wonder why and who benefits from this not being widely available information. 75% of the time, if you fight your healthcare expenses, insurance will pay out. So it takes so much time and energy to basically fight these expenses because they are an area of your life that you can negotiate versus I can't negotiate with Trader Joe's that I want to spend 40 bucks on my groceries instead of the listed price of 100. Like you can't do that with most things, but healthcare is one area, very unfortunately, that there are no set prices. Number 5, this is one that I'm embarrassed to say I haven't incorporated previously, but is a huge priority for me next year, and that is to start connecting investing and finances much more to my personal ethos and my personal beliefs by focusing more on ethical investing. Kind of an oxymoron, like if you really want to talk about it. A lot of people say that putting your money in the stock market means that the money is working for you. It's more so that you're profiting off of people's labor and exploitation at that company without having to lift a finger or do anything. That is what the stock market is. So ethical investing is an oxymoron. I do think it's harm reduction. What is it? Put simply, ethical investing is applying your lifestyle morals to your investments. So if you believe climate change is real and it's the most urgent threat to humanity, you probably don't want your money to be sitting in funds that's benefiting big oil companies and gas companies. If you don't eat meat, you probably don't want your money sitting in funds that are benefiting animal agriculture and factory farming, like Tyson. Brokerages will categorize their ethical investments as ESG funds. So if you see that in your Vanguard portal, whatnot. ESG stands for environmental, social, and governance funds. I would relate it kind of like what a B Corp is for ethical and sustainable brands. Like if you see a B Corp on Athleta's site, you're going to feel a little bit better about putting your money there. Instead of lining the pockets of like really, really bad companies, you're lining the pockets of like slightly less bad companies. It is putting your dollars where your beliefs mostly are at, since we can't currently dismantle the system of capitalism. Basically, these funds are held to a different standard than your traditional, just like run-of-the-mill index fund. What that standard means is different for every brokerage. I can't give you all the answers, but for the folks that would like to spend a little more time and effort so that your investments line up more closely to your beliefs, I will leave a few examples in the description. If you haven't noticed, this was not a comprehensive personal finance video. If you've gotten to this point and you're feeling upset that I'm not giving you like A to Z everything, I more or less gave my best Katherout attempt at that in a video I made earlier this year, so I'll have that linked up here as well as in the description. I am very, very proud of that video, and I think it's gotten some of the best response to date from all of you. The views don't really show that, but the comment section is just some of the most encouraging and like wonderful I've seen across the YouTube sphere. So I'm really happy I was able to bring another personal finance video to you all. I know that debt is a huge part of this conversation. I'm just really sorry I can't weigh in on that for you. I may not be a billionaire, but in an effort to redistribute some of my wealth, I'd love to help jumpstart just one of your investing projects, and also continue the tradition from my last video by giving away $100 of my cash that I managed to scrape away from insurance companies. If that money would benefit you in any way, just leave a comment down below with what frustrates you the most about building financial security. Then just make sure you're subscribed, and do leave me your Instagram handle in the comments so that I can contact you. I'm just gonna choose one at random, and I will pick the winner a week from now. So a week from now, one of you will be getting a DM if you leave a comment down below. Do a little money transfer, baby. All right, thank you so much for watching. I will see you all next time, and Katherout.